Welcome to the user training for club presidents. My name is Bill Mansour. I will be presenting this webinar, and let me tell you, it's my pleasure to be representing EasySpeak, because EasySpeak, as you know, is this fantastic tool for helping clubs with the administration they need to do and also with public relations. It's probably no surprise to some people when I tell you that there was research done comparing all the clubs in the world that are using EasySpeak with all the clubs that are not using EasySpeak. And we found out that those clubs using EasySpeak on average have more members and receive more DCP, or Distinguished Club Points, than the clubs not using EasySpeak. So what does that mean? Does that mean that clubs that are really smart know to use EasySpeak? Or does it mean that when a club uses EasySpeak, it makes them smart? Either way, whatever the relationship is, EasySpeak has become a very useful tool for all of the clubs in District 59. Me, as a volunteer in the EasySpeak support team, and the other volunteers are very happy to be offering these webinars to the users, the officers and non-officers, to let them get the most out of EasySpeak. As we talk about basically what are the responsibilities of the president of a club outside the club, and what does that have to do with EasySpeak? As you can see, as a club president, your responsibilities include club administration, promoting the club, and being a liaison with district and international leaders. When EasySpeak was designed, it was designed to support the responsibilities of the officers, not to add something new or to change them. We followed the documentation in the Toastmasters manuals, and we created, with the power of the internet and all the things that the web can offer, we created automated systems and reports so that it would make your job easier, and that you then would have more time to spend with your members, and you wouldn't be repeating a lot of unnecessary administrative things that a computer could do for you. Something you need to understand about EasySpeak as well with your role of club president is that you have certain permissions in the system to fulfill your role. Just like the vice president membership would have different permissions, the VPE, Vice President Education, would have different permissions, Secretary Treasurer. Everyone has different permissions in the system. So when you log on and you are an officer in a club, the way you see EasySpeak may look different than the way other members or other officers see EasySpeak, depending on the permissions you have. So I'm going to review with you how EasySpeak is going to help you with these responsibilities: club administration, promoting the club and member achievements, and liaison. I'm also going to help you with your responsibilities at club meetings, which include making sure that the meetings start on time, welcoming, and I have schmoozing guests warmly. Schmoozing, that means talking to guests before and after the meeting and welcoming them and answering their questions. And then also how EasySpeak can help you with reporting on the club's progress and achievements to the club. All right, these are some of the responsibilities. So I'm going to go right ahead and share my screen with you so that we can look at how to do this together. And I'm going to log on as Donald Duck. Who is Donald Duck? Here's a picture of Donald right there. Welcoming Donald. He's logged in to his club, which is called the King Arthur's Roundtable Club, and Donald is president of the club. How do I know that? Because if I go up here where it says go to, and this club and my communication right up there, I click on this club and look at the club directory, you can see a list of all the officers, and Donald Duck is president, King Arthur is VP Education, Lancelot is membership. If anyone wants to get a hold of me, they can always send me an email, they could call me, Donald Duck that is, and they could click on my name to find out more about my background and where I live and if I have any information about me. You can click on anybody. If you click on, say, Pocahontas, for example, Pocahontas has decided to share that she loves hiking, canoeing, climbing in trees. It's got her phone number here, 316 Hug a Tree. Here are the officers of the club. The VPE probably is the person who's going to get the most out of using EasySpeak because he or she will be organizing the weekly meetings, the agendas, assigning roles, assigning speeches in the agendas. In this case, King Arthur, he gets a lot of benefit out of that. And the VP membership also uses EasySpeak. So if you think of EasySpeak as a tool like a company would have a tool to keep track of their employees, then the VP membership is somebody who is making sure that the members are happy, making sure they have goals, and helping them to reach their goals. Well, sometimes a member is less active in the club, and so the VP membership might change their status in the club to inactive from active. And he does that by clicking on, and I'm going to roll up here, back up to the menu bar. By clicking here where it says this club, he's going to click on user list. This is a list of all users in this EasySpeak system who are somehow linked to this club. It starts with the members on the top. These are all members, and it lists what role they have if they are an officer in the club. If I click over here where it says show non-members or show past members, then I'll get a different report. Let me click on show non-members, and you'll see that at the bottom of the list are added more people who are not members. It says that Snow White is a guest speaker. It says Mr. Toad is on the mailing list. And it says Goofy the dog is a potential member and Scooby-Doo is a potential member. So here's your user list. As president, you want to look at the user list from time to time just to see how many members you have, how they're doing. And if you want to get information for any member or send an email to any member, you can come to this page and very easily click on the name to get information, see an overview of their contact phone numbers. You can send an email through the system directly to them. Let's go back to this first page, and I'm going to help you now with some of these particular functions that the president of the club needs to know, like scheduling and chairing monthly executive committee meetings. One of the exercises you have as club president is practicing running meetings. That's planning them, running them, making sure the minutes are done, following up on them, delegating all of those leadership tasks. So you might want to schedule a meeting in EasySpeak just for your executive committee members. Just like the VPE would schedule a meeting for all the club members to get together for a regular club night, you could schedule an executive committee meeting. Let me show you how to do that. So we go back in here. Here's Donald. And I'm going to go back up to the menu bar so you can see that better. The top. Okay. And you see where it says meetings. I can click on meetings. And I can see there's a problem already because it doesn't show that you can create a meeting. And I'm going to change that for you right now. And the reason that's a problem is because you don't have permission in the system to create a meeting, and that is an error. So I'm going to fix that for you, and I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that right now. I'm going to switch browsers. I'm going to bring in a browser for the Vice President of Education. Vice President of Education in this case is King Arthur. He does have permission to change some basic settings in the system. I'm going to roll down to the bottom of the page. And you see here where it says Club Control Panel. You don't want to go into the Club Control Panel very often. These are some very basic settings that you change once or twice during the year. Once it's set up the way your club likes it, then there should be no need to go in there. And so that's why you could probably, as president, just ask the VPE to do something for you. Or if you have an IT support person, you could ask the IT person to go in here for you, because the IT and VPE have all the permissions in the system. Another thing, the IT support role could be a temporary role, just for an hour or a day. You might want to give yourself permission to go into the control panel, or you might want to, as a matter of fact, that's a good idea. Why don't we try that? Should have thought of that earlier. I'm going to go back to being the president. I'm going to click up here where it says Club Officers, and I'm going to appoint myself as IT support. So I'm going to make myself Donald Duck. IT support. You see how I put IT? As president, you have the ability to change who the officers are. Just as you report them to Toastmasters International, you can put them into Easy Speak. So I made myself as IT support. And by that, clicking Submit Changes now, when you look at when I go to refresh the page, log back in as Donald, LD 59. Okay, now when I roll down, there it is. Donald now, as IT support, has permission to go into the control panel. Let me do that. I'm going to click on control panel. It asks for another password. Check. This is so that hackers can't get into our system. Our system is has a lot of security features to avoid hackers coming in, so that's a good thing. Okay, we're now looking at the club control panel for the King Arthur Club. Over on the left, you see a list of the things that a club that has been active for a while would want to do. Changing who the club officers, the permissions of the club officers. I don't recommend you change those. Club setup. This is something basic like being able to change the location of the meeting or change the Facebook link to your club. You would do that in the basic club setup. New meeting locations you put there. Your VP membership might want to change the member status possibilities. And there's also a member survey that the VP membership, in collaboration with the VPE, might like to improve. We are going to change one setting in the club officers list. We're going to click on that. And you see all the club officers in this club, and they're all listed, including the immediate past president, IT support, and we even have vice princess of fun and games. So that's just for this club. They created a new officer's role. I'm going to click up here where it says edit the president's role. Click on edit. And here are all of the permissions. And as I said, the IT support and VPE have just yes for everything. And I'm going to change for the president, I'm just going to change one thing, which is the ability to schedule meetings. Create and change meeting dates and times. I'm going to click yes. Okay, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to click save down here at the bottom. I realize that's important for the president to have. To go back, you click on admin index, or you can just click on the logo to go back to the club setting. And now when I click on meetings, you see there's something that says create meeting. That's what I was looking for before. Click on create meeting, and now you have the page for setting up a meeting. It's the same thing the VPE has when they're creating a regular meeting night, but you are going to create a committee meeting. This is for the executive committee. Click on executive committee. You can set the date. Here it's the end of January 2018. It looks good. What time of day? Let's put it at 8 o'clock at night. And Donald Duck is the president and is the meeting manager. And I can put a note here if I want. Please review the agenda before coming to the meeting. Okay. Click submit. And now you've got an event which is only for the executive committee. And that's why in the attendance list, you are only seeing the officers of the club. Whereas for a regular meeting, you'd see all of the people in the club. So this is something you can do as a executive committee meeting. Okay, let's look at the next thing on the list for responsibilities. Promoting club and member achievement. An important role of the club president is recognizing people for their achievements. After they've worked hard and participated in getting a goal accomplished, you want to report on that and you want to reward people. So we've got the Distinguished Club Program. If you want to see how your club is doing, we can look at the club program. And I'll go to Sprekersgilde Club. And I'm going to look at the performance of that, see what we get. Okay, isn't that pretty cool? Look at these charts showing how many DCP points we've reached, which goals we've reached already, how many CCs we have, how many when we got them, progress. You know the 10 goals, the DCP point goals. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So you can generate this report and then report on your club how you're doing. by going to, it says here go to, in the go to you have go to TI information, right up there at the top, go to TI information. That will take you to the Toastmasters.org, links to the Toastmasters.org website. You're leaving EasySpeak, you would be going, if you clicked on any of these links, you would be going to the Toastmasters.org website. If I click on, say, District Performance Detail, that red one there, I'll click on that, and you see you get a generated report from the Toastmasters.org website. As president, you need access to all of this information so you can report back to your members. Now, your area governor, division governor, they're all looking at this too. So as you have conversations with your area governor and he's asking you or she's asking you how your club is doing, you can see for yourself the information that Toastmasters International has collected about your club. So that's overseeing the Distinguished Club Program goals. Ensuring the club's ongoing membership building program. The membership building program is something that Toastmasters encourages each club to have going all the time. Every club loses, on average, a third to a half of their members every year through no fault of the club. So Toastmasters recommends that you have an ongoing membership drive, and they say the best thing is to concentrate for 2 months at a time, 3 times a year, and then the rest of the year concentrate on other things. Because you've got contests to organize, you've got the officer elections coming up in April, with the election at the first meeting in May. So there's 2 months, 3 times a year when Toastmasters gives special awards to clubs that get more than 5 members, 4 or 5 members in a time, and they'll send you a ribbon for the banner if you do it. You can look on their website to get more information about it. But this is an idea. Your VP membership then can coordinate a membership campaign in your club, get all the members to bring guests, to invite people to come, and you can keep track of who they invite. And then if any of those people they invite become members, then those members who brought the new members get credit. And if you get 5 people, I think Toastmasters sends you a pin. If you get 10 people, they send you a tie. And if you get 15 people, I think they send you a trip to Disneyland or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, they reward you for bringing people to the club. That's one of the things they do. So we have in EasySpeak a membership building program campaign. You can switch it on in the club control panel, and if you have it, it looks like this. Let me show you. So here's Donald, and Donald's going to go to the visitors introduced way at the bottom of this club. And you see that Donald Duck has introduced 2 people to the club, Pocahontas and Minnie Mouse. Little Red Riding Hood, she brought Tarzan of the Jungle. These are things that the VP membership is keeping track of. These are people who were invited to the club. If I look now at another item on that list, not just visitors who introduced, but I look at the membership campaign report, it shows how many of those visitors became members and who gets credit. Here it says Donald Duck gets credit for both Pocahontas and Minnie Mouse joining the club. What happens is, I'm going to click on the user list, and you can see that the VP membership is actually going into the profile of a new member. I'll go into Mickey Mouse, for example. I'll go into Pocahontas. There's Pocahontas down there. See the little pencil? Pocahontas. You click on Pocahontas' pencil, and it shows here when Pocahontas becomes a member of the club, the VP membership goes in here and says who introduced Pocahontas to the club. The VPE can come in and indicate who the mentor is. In this case, Tarzan is Pocahontas' mentor. And it shows here her status in the club. The VP membership should also put the member's number there. The Toastmaster number for the member should be there. And there's other information that the member can put in themselves. The member can put in their own phone number and their own usually the members create their own usernames, but sometimes the VP membership does that. You are able to overview this process. So I encourage clubs to take advantage of the EasySpeak system for keeping track in the membership campaign. We also have something for keeping track of the Competent Communicator and the Advanced Communicator Awards. Let me show you that quickly. If you're an officer involved in this, on the left you'll see My Communication over here. on the left, and scheduling tasks and things about meetings and my participation. Under my participation, you see it says my CL progress. That's the competent leader. My speech progress. That's the competent communicator. But also at the top, again, in this club, everything's under this club, you have the communications chart, for example, halfway down. And you can see the progress of all of the members in this club in achieving their educational awards. You can see, for example, King Arthur only has one more speech to do to get his competent communicator. Mary Poppins, she's working on her advanced communicator awards. So this is a way for any member to look in the communications chart, or we can change it up here, we can change the chart from communications chart to leadership chart, for them to see how the other members are doing, how they're doing. You see that King Arthur has completed all of the exercises for the CL. And your area governor can look at this chart, because the area governor is going to meet with you during the club visit and talk to you how you're doing in reaching the 10 Distinguished Club Program goals for the year. These are things that you want to get your club excited about achieving. You get everyone motivated and excited, and one of the tools you need to keep people excited is to let them know the progress, have progress reports. And so as you open your club meetings, you can have a little club business and you can report on the progress of the club and recognize people for their achievements. All right, so that's looking at CC and AC and Advanced Communicator, Advanced Leadership Awards. I'll go on to the Outstanding Toastmaster of the Year in the club. This is an award that Toastmasters suggests that you use to recognize members in your club who have really done great things to support the club and make it a success. They are role models. Now, our District 59 does this. They choose one Toastmaster every year who is an exemplary role model Toastmaster, who is volunteering their time, really showing concern, and participating in the program, both in the leadership and the communication track, being in contests and helping to volunteer to organize events. You want to start this process at the club level. Recognize people. It's one of the most important things that the club president does, is recognizing people. You need to have somebody who is watching how the club is going and recognizes and acknowledges people for their accomplishments. The Outstanding Toastmaster of the Year program is something that the system with the database automatically keeps track of for you. How often people are speaking, how often they're attending the club, whether they've been getting awards, how they're doing with their leadership program. These are things that Toastmasters has said you should look at when you are choosing who your outstanding Toastmaster is. But there's one more thing that you can add to the scoring that the system can't do for you, but there is a chart where you can put it in. If you look under this club, and again, this is if in your club this item has been activated in the club control panel. I'm going to click way at the bottom of the list. It's down at the bottom. It says Outstanding Toastmaster. I'm going to click on that. And you get an overview of all the members of the club, and you can manually go in and indicate what you think the level of enthusiasm, dedication, and helping are for your members. They get points for how you score them, added to the elements that are automatically tabulated over here on the right, of how often they've been present, how many times they've spoken, and you see that far and away King Arthur is the most enthusiastic and most active member of the club, trailed by Minnie Mouse with 42 points. You discuss this award with the other members of the executive committee, obviously, and maybe at your annual dinner you present a special award to King Arthur for his contribution to the club, working so hard. Again, in the club control panel is where you would turn this feature on or off. I'm guessing in your club it's probably off right now. It's something we just added back in December, so a lot of people don't know about it. It's one of the new functions in EasySpeak, along with that member survey. Oh, I didn't show you about the member survey. Let me show you that quickly too. If I go in this club, member survey results. Well, I'm going to open it up, and you'll see questions down here on the left. What are these questions? One of the things you're responsible for as president is leading the executive committee in planning your year. planning the education program. And a planning process is an exercise in leadership. One of the things Toastmasters recommends you do when you are doing this exercise is that you start at the beginning. Start by finding out what your members want. What would make them happy? What do they want this year? Maybe they want special training on PowerPoint, or maybe they want to do some debating. Maybe they want to do activities at dinners so they can practice dinner things. Maybe they want to have some kind of educational programs on using microphones. I'm just suggesting different things. When you find out what they want for that year, then you design your program for the years. How many speaking slots, how many educationals, when your contests are, all that things for the whole year. So at the beginning of the year, you need to know what the needs are. And let me remind you, when someone joins the club, they may have their goals for joining Toastmasters, but very shortly after they've been involved in the program, they may actually build their confidence and reach their original goals. And before they lose interest in the club, you want to help them find new goals, because who knows when they join Toastmasters all the incredible learning opportunities that Toastmasters offers, really. I mean, who knows that? It's only after you've been in the organization for a while you realize what the potential is, all the things you can practice. Like me practicing doing webinars. I've never done webinars before. I'm not doing too bad, am I? It's because of the practice I've had the past couple of days doing these webinars. This is fantastic for me. It's a great opportunity Toastmasters gives you to practice skills you can use in the real world. I'm planning to use webinars for my business later, so this is great for me. Okay, so find out what your members want. And this is a survey that the VP membership or the VP education or working together could send to all their members. Basically, once you've decided what the survey is going to be, what the questions are, then anyone can answer it under My Participation. There's a place where you click and it says Member Survey. So here's where Donald Duck could fill in his member survey with all the questions. Now, the member survey is totally customizable. You can make up your own questions. You can delete the questions that are there. The questions were collected from Toastmasters documentation, and one of the things where we got the questions from was an educational called Moments of Truth. That's an educational Toastmasters recommends that you have every year, and basically it's a survey of your members, but you can do it on Easy Speak. Pretty cool. Okay, so when each member fills it in, then you can look at the complete report under this club. Let's look at it again. And in the report of the member survey, you can see that 3 people have filled it in so far. 1, 2, 3 columns. And if you click on any question, let's look on how many people are interested in improving evaluation skills. If I click on that, it creates a separate report which says how each person who filled in the survey answered it. So King Arthur has some interest, Mickey Mouse has some interest, Tarzan has no interest. So you can see, okay, who's interested in having a special educational on evaluation technique, other than the normal one you're supposed to have every year anyway. Okay, so I think that's a pretty cool new feature, the member survey. So let's review what we've talked about so far. We've talked about the DCP program and monitoring the points. We've talked about the membership building program. We've talked about keeping track of communication and leadership skills. We've talked about the Outstanding Toastmaster of the Year program. Okay, we'll move on to the next topic here, which is liaison with district and international leaders. And Easy Speak is a fantastic tool for that, not just for club presidents, but also for the area, division, and district officers. I'm going to go back to my screen again. I'm going to go back up to the top. Donald Duck is president of the club. And when Donald looks in the calendar, you have different views of the calendar. You can have just the view of King Arthur's round table, but I could also put all events and click go for the month of February. And you see all of the clubs that are having meetings all over District 59, all over Europe. And I can click on any one of these links to go to one of their meetings. I mean, all of these clubs are busy with things. Okay. If you look on the weekends, you see here, District 59 Executive Committee meeting. That's kind of interesting. District 59 Officers Training. Dutch Open Championship. Okay. This is a convenient way for you to jump around in the system and to see what other people are doing. And maybe if you're going to schedule a big event, you don't want to schedule it the same day as another event. If I go to March, which is a popular time for areas to have conferences on the weekends too, you see here it's the Area J3 Spring Conference. Okay, this is one way to see what's going on in the system, but I'm going to show you some other ways. Up here where it says Meetings, over there on the menu list, look at the items you have. You've got a whole list of contest events in the district or training events and a meeting list of your own club's meetings. And there's that Create a Meeting button. Let's look at the contest events. If I click on that, you can see here's all of the District 59 events going to be in Poznan, and this is a link to the Poznan conference. Division A hasn't got much listed. Division G, H, J's got a lot happening. Here's the J1 council meeting. So you can see in area J1, they've organized a council meeting on Saturday the 31st of March. And by clicking on the link, I can go right to that meeting. I'm going to click on the link right there, Saturday 31 March. It takes me right to that meeting. And you see Donald's name is right at the top. If he wants to register to attend that meeting, he can, because this is open to anybody who wants to go. But for the rest, the other people that are listed are officers in area J1. So, and not just all of the area council members. In other words, the president, in this case it's in Dutch, the voorzitter, educativezaken, and lidmaatschap, that's the membership, education, and president of the club, are all listed as potential visitors to the area council meeting that the area governor set up. Okay. Also, this is a convenient system, easy speak, for getting a hold of your area governor or your division governor. On the left, you've got the site navigation block. And right now, we're sitting, you see it's highlighted, we're looking at area J1. If I click on area J1, it takes me to the welcome page for area J1. This is the PR portal. And you look under home, and it has a blog of items. You can also click on the area directory. Area directory. And you see who the area governor is and the past area governor. And I see we've got in this, you've got a wedstrijd leider. That's a contest organizer because it's a Dutch language area. And you've got a list of all the clubs with links to the presidents of the clubs, their email addresses. And by clicking on any of these links, you can see what's happening in those clubs. Same thing with the division. Let's click here on Division J, and I'll show you something interesting. It's interesting because Division J is a little different than the other divisions. Division J has expanded their portal so it doesn't look like the other divisions. Most divisions and areas have what we call a default PR portal. It's just a welcome page and a blog. But Division J has chosen to take more effort and spend more time to invest to develop a beautiful website. So by typing District 59 .Division J, you'll get this page. And you see it even has a British flag because everything is in Dutch. If you click on the British flag, it takes you to another page which is all in English. And if you want to go back to the Dutch, you can go back to the Dutch page. It's also got a welcome greeting from the division governor. It's got some standard text over on the left from Toastmasters, and it has a list of all the clubs again. So this is a great PR page for anyone who's interested in visiting a club. That's what public relations is about. Your vice president of PR is responsible for coordinating the public relations for your club, but also the area governor and the division governor are also looking to help promote and market Toastmasters to bring more members to your clubs and also to help set up new clubs. By the way, I'll just mention very quickly, if you know anyone that wants to start a club, any club can use EasySpeak as at the moment that they become a prospective club. That's a club that has been registered with Toastmasters International on their database, excuse me, and they have an ID number from Toastmasters International. They've requested a charter kit. That's $125. Once they get that, then they can start using EasySpeak, and that will help them to get new members faster to get up to their charter strength of 20 members. All right, if I click on the division directory up here, you see who the division governor is. You can send an email to her very easily. It says here she's got a Skype address that she put into her profile, so you can catch her on Skype. A very convenient way for officers to communicate with each other. This is also a reason why we ask every club in Europe to be listed on EasySpeak, whether they're prospective clubs or chartered clubs, and we ask every club to at least have the club president listed on EasySpeak with an email address so that the district governor, the division governor, area governor can send group emails out to all of the club officers. But district officers, they cannot send emails to your club members. We tell district officers you cannot contact club members directly. Only club officers can contact club officers directly. So that's why you get some frustrated division governors, area governors. They'll send an email to you and they'll say, please promote the area contest. Send this email to all of your members. And you wonder, well, why didn't they just send it to the members themselves? Because they can't. So I think now I've covered most of the information here that is what I'd call the responsibilities of the president outside the club. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on now to the next chart. We've got a few more minutes in our webinar, so I want to cover these last points. The responsibilities of the club president during meetings. I didn't make any of this up. This is all stuff I took from the communications manual in the back. It describes what your role is, and I also looked at the Toastmasters International website to make sure I had everything. Okay, the first thing, ensuring meetings start and end on time. Now you'd say, yeah, what can I do about it? I got the Sergeant of Arms to make sure the room is ready. I got the VPE to make sure that the Toastmaster knows what he or she is doing. I got the General Evaluator who's trying to make sure the evaluators are ready. Everyone's got their thing to do. And you're right. You shouldn't have to do this yourself. You should be delegating and managing and not doing these things yourself. So if all these people under your leadership have done their job right, the club meeting should start on time. But a lot of clubs happen to plan, a lot of clubs organize a club business section before the meeting. And this is something that maybe could be something for you to make sure that the club meeting starts on time, to make sure that you're ready also. The next thing on the list is welcome and introduce schmooze guests warmly. One of the things that the VP membership can do is to track visitors and to monitor them, see who their sponsor is in the club, and help them until they're ready to join the club, and then deal with orienting them and helping them along the way. But before and after the meeting, you want to be available to talk to your guests. And if you look at the agenda for a meeting, you can see if a guest is coming or not, possibly. Because if the VP membership is doing her or his job, they will be creating a username for a visitor to the club. Usually this happens after they've come to the meeting. Usually people just show up, and then the VP membership will collect, or the Sergeant of Arms will collect the email address and the name of the visitor, and then you ask that person, if they didn't register themselves in the system, to register themselves, or to the VP membership can register them and put them in the list with the status guest who visited the club, or maybe you can create a member status of potential member. So when you look at the agenda and you see these potential people that are coming, or maybe someone has registered themselves, maybe a visitor from another club, maybe a VIP, maybe the area governor is going to come visit your club. They can just click on the agenda for your meeting and tell you that they're coming. And then you look at the agenda and you see who the VIPs are, who the guests are that are coming to the meeting, and you as club president are prepared to greet people appropriately and make them feel welcome at your meeting. The next thing here is reporting on the club's progress and achievements. And I already told you about how you can check how your club is doing with the DCP points, and how important it is for you to recognize the achievements of Toastmasters, and not only what they're doing as Toastmasters, but also outside the club. Like maybe they just had a baby, or they got a new job, something like that, a promotion. This is something that your VPPR can put in the blog. But you also can see that these things are announced at meetings and people are recognized. It helps build bonding between the club members. That's the purpose of a newsletter. That's also the purpose of the club blog, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Just want to go on to this last thing here before we jump off this page, and that's reporting on the moments of truth that the club is achieving. And that is with that member survey. You've set up some goals for the club of things you want to be doing during the year. You can be reporting on your planning for the year. Educational sessions coming up, contests coming up, things that the members have specifically asked for. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing the page here, and I'm going to show you the PR blog. This is a new function. I'll go up to where it says Home, and this is our home page. And we decided to put a picture up here and some text. I'm going to click on the club directory just for a moment, because not everybody knows that every club was given a free home page for public relations purposes. And if you go to your club's directory, over here on the left, it says what it is. Right there, it says what your address is. You can use this to promote your club in any kind of emails you send, invitations, blogging, Facebook pages. You can put that address. It's also right down here, the short form, kingarthurs.district59.eu. I'm going to click on that, and it takes me to the home page. You already have search engines like the Google search engine indexing whatever you have in your home page. So the district wants to encourage you to customize your club's home page. Let me show you a couple other clubs. Let me go to my club, the Amersfoort Club. We've got a PR guy in our club who's just really great in adding things. Look, he put all these pictures in there. Doesn't that look attractive with the pictures in there? And all this Dutch text. And right now, half of the text over here on the right is in English still. These are these standard blocks of text. So it's really easy to use these standard blocks of text. You don't have to write anything yourself. You just put the text in there. This is the home page. Let me go up to the home link there. Over on the left, it says our blog, meet our members, members page, contact us. Look at that. I'm going to click on the our blog. And you see, here's an update about our club in the news. You can put things in here for your members who won contests, or your members who had a new baby. It's like a newsletter, but it's online newsletter, a blog. And it's a good way for your members who don't come to the meetings, they miss a meeting, they can still read the blog and see what's going on in the club. You've got another page here, meet our members. This is an option. You don't have to show the page if you don't want to. The whole portal is totally customizable, but it's really easy. Drag and drop features, really easy to format. Look at all the members of my club who have posted their pictures. So a few people have not uploaded their pictures, but most people did. How do you customize this page? I'm going to go back to the King Arthur page. You as club president and the VPE and the IT support have permission to change the formatting of the portal. The VPPR cannot change the format. The VPPR can only update the content. You see down here underneath each block it says edit the text. So the VPPR could click on that and change the text, but not the format. The format is something, again, you don't want people changing every day or every week. You get a committee together with the VPPR. Maybe you appoint the VPPR temporarily as IT support so they have permission to change the format. Anyway, you focus on how you want to design your website. Once you do that, leave it. Don't mess with it again. There's all sorts of options. You can put in videos, and I'm sure you're very creative. Once you start playing with it, it's really easy and fun to play with. So you can click at the top where it says Edit Page Layout in order to change the layout. I'm going to click on it, and you'll see what I mean. I click on Edit Page Layout, and you can see what was hidden behind there. You see that there's all these web part blocks which you can use to very easily add different features to your portal. Now, if you remember, all we had on this page was a photograph, which is here, and this text, which is now squeezed over in a little column, because there are two more columns here on the right that you could use if you wanted to. If you're not using them, then the page automatically spreads itself out. I'll go back and show you what I mean. If I go back, you'll see that there's just this column of text and the picture. And when I squeeze the browser down, you see how the text automatically reformats? Yeah, pretty cool. Not everybody has the same size browser. You know, I have a pretty wide screen monitor, but not everybody has that luxury. And some people's browsers are smaller than other people's browsers, and the text will automatically reformat depending on how wide the browser window is. Okay, but let's look at how that looked again when I went into edit mode. If you wanted to add another feature, you could just click on the plus thing. If I click on plus up here, for example, it gives me all these options of blocks I could add to my format. At the top, it starts with free text. Free text is just a block where you can write whatever you want in any language. As a matter of fact, that's what I did for my welcome message in Dutch. I just put a free text block in there. And then I could, after it's there, you can edit it and put any text you want, or pictures in there, or videos you want. Upload anything like that. The Our Blog, which I already have a different page with Our Blog on it. And blocks of Toastmasters standardized text. Right now it's only available in English, but pretty soon we're going to have it in different languages. Other things you might want to add are some standard features like club news, directions to the club, social media links, information about the next meeting, links to the discussion forum. Play around with it, see how it works, but all of those features are easy to add. Let me add a free text item right now so you can see how easy it is. I'm going to add that. I click on add, and it says it was successful, and now it's there. It's right here. Type your text here, it says, but first I have to save it in order to type it. I'm going to click on save page layout, and there it is right on top. And I click on edit text, and I can type stuff. I can say, this is a test. I can add a picture by clicking over here where it says add photos. I click on a photo. I can browse my hard drive and pick some nice picture, open it up, add it in. By the way, Toastmasters.org on their PR portal have all sorts of free pictures you can very easily add. Now this one's pretty jumbo, so I'm going to make it smaller. It's like I said, the features are incredible. You can just resize on the fly. You can drag and drop. Everything's right there. I put it on the right-hand side. When I'm done, I click Save Text, and there it is. There it is. That's how I added this other picture. I just added a picture there. If you want to get rid of the whole thing, go back up to Edit Page Layout, and then on that red X right there, you can delete that web part. You can also change the title of the web part. It says free text. Maybe you want to have something else. You can just click on the little red pencil to change the title of the box. Instead of free text, I'll put, this is a test. That's not very much fun. I'll just put fun things. Save it. And now you see on the top, when I click Save Layout, it says fun things. But I'm going to go out and delete it now. So I'm going to go back into the format. I'm going to click on the red X. It asks, do you really want to delete it? Yes, I do. And now it's gone. And I click Save Page Layout, and I'm back to where I was at the beginning. See how easy that is, folks? Yeah, everybody can do this, and it's fun. So like I said, reformatting the portal is something that you want to do sooner than later if your club hasn't done it. Get a little committee together. Get your VP, your Vice President PR involved. If the VP PR, if you don't have an IT support who's going to be working with it with the VP PR, appoint your VP PR to be IT support for a while until they get this set up. Once it's set up, then VP PR doesn't need to change the formatting anymore because they're just going to be adding blog items. You can add blog items, and they'll be editing the text. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty it. Well, I think we've covered most everything we said we were going to in the 1 hour that we've just spent together. We talked about your responsibilities at club meetings, and we talked about your responsibilities outside the club. You can always post your questions in the help options. Let me show you that real quickly before I go off. Help option is an easy speak. There are many of them. There's the knowledge base, and there's the discussion forums. In the knowledge base, you can find all sorts of standard Toastmaster information about the roles of the club president, marketing and membership building. And there's a whole section, which I'll show you in a moment, for how to use EasySpeak. And if you're really having trouble, you can't find your answer here, you can go to the discussion forum and you can ask a question how to, or put a problem if you think there's a problem there. I'll show you how to do that real quick. By clicking on Help Options up there, click on Discussion Forum, and you see how do I do something? So you might find an answer to your question there. Another thing under Help Options is the Knowledge Map. It's the second thing in the list. And when you open that, you see all this information about all the Toastmasters roles, officers' roles, what your role is as the club president. It's right there, club president role. But if I scroll down further, I get to a section called Using This Site. Using this site. And here's where you can find all sorts of information, how to use EasySpeak, how to run the club, how to work the club control panel, how to set up meetings. If you can't find your answers here, go ahead and post a question in the How Do I section, and one of the support team will answer you within an hour, within a day. And if the EasySpeak support team people can't answer it, they will refer it to the development team. Again, I want to thank you for participating, helping me, supporting me in my learning. But it's not just about me learning how to run a webinar. It's about you getting the most out of EasySpeak. And I know that my time is well spent as a volunteer for Toastmasters supporting you, because it makes your clubs better, everyone's having more fun, and ultimately that comes back to me because I get a better organization with better activities being organized, and we're all having more fun and learning a lot more. And that's what Toastmasters is all about: helping, giving, sharing, and having fun. That pretty much wraps up our training for club presidents today with our webinar sponsored by District 59. On behalf of the EasySpeak support team, I want to thank you. If you know anyone who would like to join our team, it's a fun group, please let us know. Hope you had a great time, and I'll see you sometime in the future. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.